Hello friends, today I am going to reveal some true facts of famous scientific achievements, inventions of the 20th century. But first of all, I request you to please share and subscribe my channel for getting my informative true facts videos uninterrupted. Now famous scientific inventions of 20th century. Theory of relativity, a special theory of relativity. E is equal to mc square by Albert Einstein. Proposed in 1905 by Albert Einstein, one of the greatest thinkers in history. This equation formed the basics of modern physics. E is equal to mc square this equation formed the basics of modern physics. It is very important. Moon landing. Apollo 11 launched July 16th, 1969. Apollo 11 arrived at the moon on July 20th, 1969. The moon landing won the space race for the US over the USSR. DNA profiling. The first use of DNA in a court case was back in 1986. Alex Jeffrey, a geneticist from England, discovered the technique in 1984. Today, DNA is used extensively in criminal cases. Discovery of penicillin. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in September 1928. Edward Florey and Ernst Chain were able to make his discovery usable in 1940. Penicillin helped fight infections and saved millions of lives and prevented billions of amputations. Science discovery. Wright brothers' first flight. Oliver and Wilbur Wright piloted the first powered airplane on December 17, 1903 in North Carolina. The plane flew for 59 seconds over 852 feet. They had been working on it out of their bicycle shop in Ohio since 1896. The Jonas Salk discovered the polio vaccine. Developed in 1952 by scientist Jonas Salk, polio vaccines. 52,000 plus cases of polio were reported in 1952. By 1962, there were only 886 thanks to the vaccine. In 2015, the only 226 cases were reported in the world. The Hubble Space Telescope, taken into orbit by NASA in 1990. It helped redefine the age of the universe. It will still be in the service until at least 2014. The personal computer. The first personal computer named the programs 101 was launched in 1964. The SCAMP IBM computers was the beginning of the modern personal computer. Today, everyone owns a device that has its roots in the personal computer, from tablets to cell phones. Global Positioning System, GPS, it is important. The first GPS satellite was launched in 1989. Developed by the military, President Reagan made it available for civilians. It is developed by the military. Today there are 24 GPS satellites in orbit. GPS is still in use for both military and private use. The nuclear bomb. The code named Trinity, the first nuclear bomb was detonated on July 16, 1945. During World War II, the United States dropped 2 nuclear bombs on Japan to help end the war. Nuclear weapons and bombs today are as small as a briefcase, and the larger ones are 10 to 20 times more powerful than the original. Modern rocketry. The first modern rocket was created in 1926 by Robert Goddard. The German army used a V-2 rocket during World War II. At that time, the most advanced rocket ever made. Today, rockets are the basis for space exploration. Pacemaker, regulating the beating of the heart. The first implantable pacemaker was given to Arne Larsen in 1958. Pacemakers can be made for adults, children, even newborn babies. It has saved countless lives, scientific inventions. Some famous people with a pacemaker includes Elton John and Julie Brown from Modern Family. Sputnik 1, the first satellite sent off into space. Sputnik 1 was launched on October 4th, 1957 by the USSR. It signaled the beginning of the space race between the United States and the USSR. Sputnik 1 spent 3 months in orbit before crashing back to Earth. Nuclear power. The first nuclear power plant was built on July 27, 1954 in the USSR. Nuclear power presently supplies about 10% of the world energy. There have been 3 disasters of nuclear power plant over the last 35 years, causing the development of it is slow. Electron microscope. The first modern electron microscope was built in 1938. These microscopes use an electron's beams to get their image. Apple II computer released in 1977, introducing Apple II. Apple Computers was founded by Steve Jobs and was originally operating out of his garage. The original price tag of the Apple II was $1,298. One of the first computers with a color display and had the basic programming language out of the box. For successful home computer mass marketed and released. Refrigerator developed for home use in 1913. The refrigerator developed for home use in 1913. The very first ones had to be put together by the customer. Refrigerators today are in almost every household in the world. DNA double helix. The first article about double helix DNA was published in 1953. DNA is the building block of life. Today it has wide-ranging applications from criminal trials, cloning to medicine. Chemotherapy. The first use of chemotherapy was in 1942 to treat lymphoma. Chemotherapy works by damaging fast-growing cells, usually cancer cells. It is still the main cancer treatment available today. Transistor. The transistor began to work in 1907. In 1953, they become commonplace. The transistor is a key component in every major electronic devices made today. It is used in everything from TVs, cars, computers and cell phones, just to name a few. The Internet. Research began to the Internet back in the 1960s and was called ARPANET. In 1982, TCP/IP network calls became the standards and the Internet began to grow. The Internet, as we know, it became commercial in 1995 and has grown into what all of us use today. The Mars rovers. The United States has launched 4 successful Mars rovers since July 4, 1997. The last one, Curiosity, landed in 2012. The Big Bang Theory. George Lemaitre first proposed the theory in 1927. The theory describes the early development of the universe. Today there are many different theories about the universe of the initial Big Bang theory proposed by Lemaitre. Integrated circuit, microchip. It is important. Integrated circuit, microchip. The first working integrated circuit developed by Jack Kilby and Robert Noyce in 1958. It combined electronic part into one circuit. This made it possible for electronics to be made smaller. Today, integrated circuits, microchips are part of every electronic devices we use. Aqualung. The first underwater breathing units made in Paris in 1943. It was the father of the modern scuba and deep water diving gears. Modern scuba gear has helped greatly in our understanding and discoveries of the planet's oceans. Compact discs developed by Philips and Sony in the mid-1970s and made commercially available in 1983. The compact disc changed the way information would be exchanged. It led to the growth of personal computers and helped many different industries store information. Radiocarbon dating. William Libby proposed that decaying the element carbon-14 could be used to determine the age of organic material. He published a paper in 1949 that began radiocarbon dating. Today it is the standards for dating how old anything with organic material is. Microwave oven, invented by Percy Spencer in 1946. 90% of people in the world currently owns a microwave oven. It made food preparation easier and led to the sale and creation of frozen dinners. In my next video, I will give some more details of famous scientific achievements and inventions of 20th century. Thanks.